The key to life is just to find out who you are, and if you're kinky, that's just how you're meant to be. We found a place on the Rev Mel Show where we can all be one perverted family.
If it is consensual, I will bury my hands and face in your ass. But when a guy's at the club, we got to have one free hand to block the smack. Am I right?
To block the
one
smack.
minute. Cameraman Scott.
Scott,
Am I right?
Scott's with you.
You got like 8 chicks here. When you grab an ass and you got to be like ninja skills, like don't smack me. I'll just get my perv on. Is that consensual? Sorry.
But
yes,
we're going to pick on Boogie tonight, but we know how to lick pussy.
If you got to brag about it, you don't know how to do it. Notice I keep my lips zipped.
But you don't have a pussy, you have a cock.
So I have a cock, so that negates my
Okay,
ability
all I
to
have
eat
to say is
pussy.
just because you have a poontang does not mean you know how to lick poontang. That's all I have to say.
Solaris, you look like you want to say something.
Not really. I mean, I tell everybody that I am bisexual because I fantasized about women my entire life, but I've never had an experience with a woman. Yeah, I know. Meow is my sister, so she doesn't want to hear about this. But
I've dated a lot of bisexual women, and you hear a lot. That is a myth. I mean, yes, if somebody is passionate about eating pussy, if you are a woman, that does give you an advantage, but it doesn't necessarily mean that every girl that try, because a lot of girls are like, oh, I'm going to try to be bisexual.
No, I mean, it also depends because
people like different things.
Well, and as Kinsey found out way back in the day that people are on a spectrum of sexuality and how bi they are. There are men that are 10% bi, and and then the rest of them they're. It just all depends. Everybody's on a spectrum. You can go online and look it up. It's actually quite interesting. But there are many people that I know, many women who love to play with other women's breasts, but go near the pussy? Hell no, that's not going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
So
it
really depends.
Quasi.
Yeah,
quasi
and it depends on your thermo.
I like that.
And a lot of women are like, I'll let a woman do me.
Yeah, a lot.
I'm not gonna,
a couple that I know that's in a relationship and they consider themselves married. Sometimes there's a butch, a woman that's considered butch, and they will never take it. They will only give it. So it really depends on your type of sexuality, whether or not you are a good pussy eater.
It's very complex.
Well, I think you also kind of know that a little bit, like, really early on. I think my first curious adventure was, I was 9.
You were 9?
I was 9 years old, and there was this girl up the street who got boobs one day, and I was like, ooh, and I had to go see, and she was gracious enough. She showed me, and I was only 9 years old. It was just this little curious adventure thing, so, and it just never really left me. And I don't fully see myself in a relationship with a woman, but I suppose to coin one of the things I read on Boogie's thing, it's like ice cream, I guess. It's a wonderful treat every once in a while, I suppose. But
You said that about eating pussy?
No, you said that about spanking someone for ice cream. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
He does spank for ice cream, by the way.
Well, no,
he's on the classifieds. If you go on the classifieds on Talking Sex Radio, Boogie has a classified. So it says, I spank for ice cream.
So you're with the ice cream?
I think he's trading up for the fruit basket now.
He
just
wants to give spankings. No excuses.
It's okay. If you have ice cream, if you have an IOU for ice cream, as long as I just feel compensated and validated, I think that's really it. Because I don't like being cheap.
You are cheap. So, Mad'em Crissy,
yes,
when did you lose your virginity? And then we'll get to the newbie questions at the next.
Goodness. Wow. Probably 15.
15.
Yeah, at 15. And I did end up marrying my junior high school sweetheart. So.
Oh, you did that too?
Yeah.
What,
of course, it's just like the first experience. Hence the divorce. Hello. Yeah. So, it was like 15. He was a couple years older than me.
She has such incredible green eyes, or hazel eyes. They're beautiful.
Thank you.
So, Meow.
You guys need some time alone.
Yeah, you do.
Here, we'll look this way.
I know, her and I are going to be all...
So, Meow, are you bisexual?
No.
No? Have you ever thought about licking pussy?
Not really. There was one girl that I more so connected with, and it didn't matter that she was a woman. But other than that, no, I don't sit there and think about boobages or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you masturbate, you don't fantasize and...
No, and that was a question I had for the chat room, too. Almost everybody that I've met in the lifestyle, the women are bi. I've never really...
Well, Pez, I mean, Pez was actually talking about this. I know that Living Dead Girl isn't bi. I know that Pez really isn't bi. A lot of people...
isn't really bi, or what does that mean?
Pez,
or
Pez,
isn't?
are you bi?
Well, I mean, everyone...
Pez entered nothing. Six is not bi. Six isn't bi. I tend to like a lot... Yeah, Pez isn't bi either.
Okay.
And these are people that are in the chat room.
It's so, we don't talk about it. Like, it's always bi girls.
In the vanilla world,
and everybody has to know,
about it.
because I asked this past weekend. Alan Swan is not bi.
Phew, I was so confused.
I teased him about that. He was talking
But
with
his pet is
definitely
bi.
bi.
Oh, I didn't know she was bi.
Yeah, I
She's
mean,
very cute.
a lot of people in the lifestyle, because we are very liberated and we're very much so open with each other, even though women
But just
are not
because
bi.
you're open doesn't mean you have to be bi.
Well, no, but the thing is, a lot of people seem to be bi, but they really are not. And for some reason, I tend to be attracted to all the women that are not bi.
Well, it's hard to tell. We do everything together. Go to the bathroom. I mean, it's hard to tell. You have to almost look at the profile just to make sure.
Well, even on the profile, a lot of people a lot of women find a stigma in saying that they are bi. I know in the lesbian community, when you say that you are bisexual, it is very much so stigmatized by a lot of lesbians. I'm not saying every lesbian. It's not said a lot that people are bisexual. I think within the BDSM community, it is something that is quite unique.
Well, it's not unique necessarily, I don't think. It's more attracted, I guess you could say, because you can play with multiple partners. It doesn't matter what sex they are, because they are attracted to both sexes. I don't know.
Well, in the lesbian world, it's really amazing because I used to go to the Palms a lot in West Hollywood. I hung out at the Palms.
I love that place.
For
Never been there.
the last 15 years. And women would not become involved with me because I was bisexual. They kept telling me to get off the fence, and I kept telling them I have more dates on the weekends. And they quite couldn't understand it, but they really wanted me to make a choice. And as an independent person, an independent thinker, I did not want to make the choice because I don't need to make the choice.
Well, see, this is my personal view of that, is that I've talked to my sister about it as well, is that I have a feeling it does come to do with nature, where there is a pack. And so a lot of the women are okay with each other, like lions. There's the main male lion dominant, and then there's the lioness where there's like 6 of them. Mm-hmm. So I think that kind of does somewhat come naturally, I guess you could say, to some people.
If you look at little girls as they're growing up, and this is not the bisexual show, by the way, but if you look at little girls when they're growing up, they're always hugging, kissing each other, holding hands, always wrapped around each other. Little boys don't do that. Little boys don't,
but that's
do the things that little girls do.
How you're brought up as well, too. Like a lot of European men, they're very touchy, they're very huggy, there's no boundaries between males. So I do think it is how you're brought up as well, especially as if your mother is very nurturing to you, people tend to be more nurturing, female.
My mother wasn't. That parts me right out. I'm bi anyways. So, Boogie, you're not bi, are you?
No.
You like women.
I like women, and I say, this is in my defense, I've said it on the show before,
Nice.
The day that I feel like sucking a dick, I'm not going to ask anyone's fucking permission. I'm just going to go and suck a dick. As of today, not interested in dick. It's been 40 years, since 7.
No, but here's a question for you. Do you ever look at a guy and say, wow, he's really attractive?
No, I really don't.
See, because there are some men...
Okay, no, wait.
Where it's considered
I don't buy muscle magazines. I don't...
See,
not necessarily, wow, he's hot. Wow, that's a good-looking person. It's like a piece of art, appreciative.
If a guy works out and puts in the time and he's got a body, you're like, okay, you got a body, but
So if a guy has a
it's
cute...
not like I go,
Ooh, I want to fuck that.
Could you stand in front of me so I can just appreciate God's creation?
Could you bend over, please?
Oh my God. So let's get off the bike conversation. We're gonna Meow. What age were you when you lost your virginity?
13.
13. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a break now. We're going to come back, and we are going to be talking about newbies and BDSM. We've gotten over the bi thing. I love the bi thing, though. We've got to have a show on it. So we'll get someone that,
Note to self.
You and your bi.
You and your bi. And we'll be right back, and you've been watching the Rev Mel Show.